Niggas, black people, and African Americans, or whatever it is that you brown, mocha fudge, charcoal, and caramel colored folks are calling yourselves today. Oh, have I got a doozy for you all. You're getting ready to view footage. This is recent footage tonight of a local town council meeting. Okay, this is in Glenarden, Maryland, which is right up the street from where I stay, from where I live. Okay, some of you all, watch my videos from time to time. Okay, but in this particular video, you're getting ready to see the dysfunction that is the black community. Now, I have made videos in the past pointing out the failure of leadership, the failure of management. Who manages the black community? Who? Who do you see on that stage? I see one brother. Who's taking up all the rest of the seats? That's the black woman, I presume, isn't that? Oh, yeah. But you're getting ready to see exactly what I have been telling you for many, many years. Not only here on YouTube, but abroad. Okay? You're getting ready to see these women, upset over... They're getting together and you're going to basically watch them have romper-rum. Okay? It's going to be a straight up elementary school. Okay, a couple of these members I actually know. Okay, I actually personally know. One of them, you're going to see Councilwoman Jennifer Jenkins. Okay, she was a friend of one of my sisters actually growing up. Okay, they went like all through school growing up. Okay, another one, Celeste Wilson. Okay, she attended the local church I went to as a little boy, and she was also visible in my neighborhood. Okay, but you're gonna see the failure of black leadership, the failure of our women to lead. Watch how emotional these women get. And then I want you to see how collective and calm this brother is right here that you're watching with the milk dud head. I want you to see how collective and cool this brother is while these women are flicking off, getting emotional. Some of them, well, one of them, Councilwoman Jenkins, I believe, storming off stage. You're getting ready to see, okay? And we wonder why our children are running rampant the way they are.
Wilson, regular session, date of introduction, April 8th, 2013. Whereas the Council of the City of Glenarden has set council rules for how to conduct council meetings, and whereas the council rules specify no personal attacks, and whereas the conduct of Councilwoman Jenkins at a closed meeting held on March 11, 2013 was beyond anything the council has experienced before, and whereas Councilwoman Jenkins used vulgar and offensive language towards another council member, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in regular session this 8th day of April 2013, that one, Councilwoman Jenkins be censured for conduct unbecoming a council member.
Madam President?
Yes.
I move that we table Resolution R61, 2013.
You have a motion and a second. Call for the vote.
Councilwoman Carter,
Yes.
Councilman Herring,
No.
Councilwoman Jenkins,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson,
No.
Councilwoman Smallwood,
No.
Councilwoman Day.
No. Motion failed.
Madam President, I move that we accept Resolution R61, 2013.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Call for the vote.
No, there needs to be some discussion.
Well, discussion.
At the meeting that
Oh.
is in question, which was a closed session, where we are not supposed to discuss what occurs in closed session. It is an executive session. Sometimes these meetings get heated. And I have heard Councilman Herring be disrespectful to former mayors, to council members, and nothing has ever been done. I have seen him push people to the point of where they were ready to fight, and nothing has ever been done. Inciting people to a near riot, and nothing has ever been done. And now they want to try to put something in paper saying that I behaved in an unbecoming fashion. How dare you? How dare you? We were receiving legal advice, and as always, whenever Councilman Herring doesn't get his way, he starts yelling and screaming as he did that night, and I called him a baby. I said he was acting like a big baby, because he was. And he continued to yell, and it was getting out of hand, and I went to get up, and he continued to yell, and I said, you're acting like a big bully. And he continued to yell. In a threatening manner, he continued to yell, and the council president, as normal, did nothing. And when she does nothing, things always get out of hand. If anything, you should be reprimanded, you should be censured, and you really don't deserve to sit in as a council president.
Taking your manhood, black man.
Let Mr. Herring treat people any kind of way, and then you want to now bring charges against me? I won't sit for this. This is ridiculous, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Madam
You are
President.
fit to serve as any.
Madam President.
Ms. Jenkins,
Madam
you
President.
did not reflect the comments correctly.
Correctly, no, she did not.
Madam
And
President.
No,
order was called for on Mr. Herring at that meeting.
For her attention. I'm not talking to you, Mayor.
And at that time, Ms. Jenkins stormed out the room, and the language she used was not what she stated here tonight. Now, Ms. Carter.
Madam President, I'd like to address this resolution. While the language that was used may have been offensive to some, it was certainly the council lady's opinion, and she felt appropriate to censor her for saying something. There was no physical contact. We have said things to one another that certainly should not have been said by myself, by others to me. This, I think, is an inappropriate way to handle a bad choice of words on anyone's part. I do not believe, if this is the case, every time we do not adhere to the council rules, then we need to censor one another. And I don't believe we do that, and I don't believe we should start with this issue. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Could I say something?
Ms. Wilson.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Since I'm the one who's bringing forth the legislation.
Ms. Wilson, can you speak in the mic, please?
Since I'm the one who's bringing forth the legislation, let me try and explain something to you. Okay. Yes, I was offended by the language that was used, which in 2 years, this type of language has not been used in meetings. And yes, Mrs. Carter, you're correct that people have gotten heated before, but I truly believe that people need to know how to keep control of their mouths. No one pushed Ms. Jenkins into saying what she said. It was the decision that she made. And not only that, but I feel that she has had opportunity to come back and apologize, not only to the council person that this was done towards, but to the council, to the city manager, to the mayor, to the city attorney. She has had opportunity to come back and say, I'm sorry, I should not have behaved that way. But that was not done. So I brought forth this legislation because there comes a time when you have to say enough is enough. And when people are out of control, then sometimes you need to put it in writing that you're out of control. And that's why I brought forth the legislation. It wasn't to demean anyone, because what someone does is what they do.
Huh?
You bring on your own problems sometimes. And so we have had occasions before when council members have called someone out of their name, and which was bad. However, they did apologize. So there comes a time, I believe, when you have to take responsibility for what you do. And if this is the only way that it can be done, then I say so be it.
Hold up. Pause. Okay. Black woman. Why is the only way always your way? No. You can't do that. Okay? That's why it's called a council. Okay? That's plural. That implies something that's plural, not singular. Another thing is the following, okay? Now, you saw Councilwoman Jenkins storm out, get all upset, do her rant, and storm out. And in her argument, she complained about, someone, Herring, he yelled and nobody said such. That's what he did, okay? Your argument is still mute, and I'm going to tell you why it's mute. Okay, when a guy's at a basketball game, for example, and I hate to use this sports analogy, but hey, let's say a shoving match goes on. Okay, the referee is not going to see the first guy that threw the elbow. No, they're going to see you. And I'm going to tell you why they're going to see you. Because you're coming at them with pure emotion, rage, flying all over the place the way you did. Okay? Now let's move on. Look, keep watching so you can see this brother cool as the other side of the pillow while these women are going off.
I'm going to say this. I'm a person, I don't believe in using profanity. I was not brought up using profanity, and I always found that particular word to be very annoying to me, because usually when someone would say that to me, I would say, are you talking about your mama? Because that's how that word affects me.
Are you talking about your mama? There it is. And these sisters wonder why these young boys in these single parent households are going off. Keep watching.
When she left the room to cool off, that should have been the end of it. But she opened the door and yelled back in and called this council person a name that was not fitting me personally to come out of any woman's mouth. So, and as I had been on the council for 3 terms, 6 years, I had never heard another council person call another council person that type of name. I had heard some mudslinging down by that dirt, but to stoop as low as to call a person that, I think is unacceptable.
Let me say this, because Ms. Jenkins just threw my name all out there. I don't be bullying anybody. I may speak loud, but I've never intimidated no council member. You may get intimidated when I bring you the facts, and you can't respond back because the facts are being thrown in your face. And that's what seems to be the problem with a number of council members up here, is that when the facts are put in their face, because if I'm going to say something about you, you're going to be a piece of paper there to prove it. And
there you go, brother. There you go.
My thing is, that's your record. As a council member, you run on your record. You run what's out there. And that night, Ms. Jenkins got upset because I was talking to the attorney. I'm not going to go into no details, but my thing is this. Basically, she got mad because I said to her that she served on the council. She served as city manager when $100,000 was embezzled from the city. And that's exactly
We need to not, please go into privileged matters.
Well, those are the facts.
That's in the Washington Post.
Right.
That's in the Washington Post. That has already been out in the paper. It's in the Washington Post. I've said it before.
There goes another one getting upset and rolling out.
That is not privileged information. But that is public information. I got the article right here if you want to see the article. And she got upset. No, if she want to tell a story, then let's tell a story the way it happened. She got upset because I made that comment. She was the city manager then. Her under Don Juan Williams' administration. When that money was embezzled from the city, over $100,000.
Don Juan Williams, the hustler.
And you want to see the article? It's here. She got mad and she walked out that door and she called me something that I've never heard a council member say to another council member. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now, like Ms. Pfeiffer was saying, she think I got something personal against her. I don't have anything personal against you, Ms. Pfeiffer. I just hold us up to a high level. And even though we do go back and forth, you did apologize to me when you did say something to me that I didn't like, and I do appreciate that. But you've never gone to the level that Ms. Jenkins went to, and I don't think you ever would. So my thing is this. I may get upset, I may get frustrated, I may get loud, but I'm not going to call any council member. I never have called any council member out of their name or called them something that's derogatory, is what she called, basically me. You know, I don't think it was right. And as Ms. Wilson said, never once came back to apologize for what she said. To the council, to me, to anybody. But I don't need her apologies, because I know that's just a sign of a person that's very angry, that's very frustrated, and obviously must have low self-esteem if she's going to call somebody that.
Any other comments?
There you go, brother.
Say that, you know, I just want to say this, that
Speechless.
Mr. Herring
Speechless.
constantly,
When the facts are in their face. Thrown in their face.
always with the personal attacks. If Mr. Herring didn't do the things that he does, and the thing that started it is, Mr. Herring we got an opinion that Mr. Herring didn't want to hear. And what happened is, Ms. Jenkins started laughing. She started laughing at that meeting because Mr. Herring was getting so frustrated that he wasn't getting his way, and she did call him a baby. She called him a big baby. She called him a bully. Wait a minute.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. On her way to the door.
She started with that. I Ms. Pfeiffer telling the truth. Go ahead.
Okay.
She did start with
And
that.
then she called him a bully, she did that, and then she called him something else. But the point is, I don't know how much, you know, maybe some people take more than others, but Mr. Herring has a habit of bullying. I can't call it anything.
Presenting the facts before
He
you
says
is
he's
bullying.
out talking, and a lot of times the information that he gives is not correct.
Oh,
He
okay.
swears it is, but
Okay.
it is not correct. And I just think that you all evidently have never been to any other kind of meetings, because I understand that when you go to other meetings, like county meetings and all of that stuff, they say words. They use words, vulgar words. They do.
Oh, and we supposed
And I mean,
cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off. There you have it. Excuses, excuses, excuses. You just heard it right out of her mouth. Y'all haven't been in any other meetings. See, the other council meetings, okay, which are probably filled to the brim of women who think just like you. They use words. They use vulgar words. They call each other names. Black man, I have stated over and over again, it is time to take the bull by the horns. She was never meant to be in this position, black man. Look, I'm not saying this out of hatred to our sisters. I'm not. As I told you before, I know two of the women up there. I love our women. I really do. I love our sisters. But at the same time, I'm not a fool. Okay? The way this thing is being ran right now, like I said, it is a stagecoach. It is a 6-horse stagecoach headed into a gutter. I mean, it is headed off a cliff. Black man, They've already proven that they cannot lead. It's time for us to take control.